What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RGTP. Did it not go live? No,
I mean, I see
it's
it
still
says
loading.
live.
It's still loading. We're having
I
some
see it says live
technical,
at 35,
technical
36,
difficulties.
37.
Welcome to another episode of RGTP. I am your host, Lewis. Loading up slow on my end. Not even see it. Now we are live. 46
There you
seconds.
go.
Look at that. It's don't know what was going on there, but we
Is
are
it
back.
cold? Blame the weather, bro.
Yeah, no, it's weather's crazy up here. It is currently a
-5.
whopping 3 degrees,
Ooh.
and the current feel temperature outside is -17. It is fucking
Damn.
cold up here, and believe it or not, tomorrow is supposed to be even colder.
That's fantastic.
So,
Gotta love that.
absolutely insane over here. But Mama, how is the
It's like
beautiful
80 degrees
Florida
here.
weather?
It's
Right.
like 80, bro. Well, actually, it was raining today, so it was cooler. So didn't have to deal with the heat like yesterday. Fantastic.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Very nice. Very nice. But Mamba, it is Friday, and you know what we do on Fridays? We talk about wrestling. And last week we had the Royal Rumble, and there's no
What a
rest
show.
for the weary.
What a
As we
show.
continue the pay-per-view prediction train going on to NXT Vengeance Day. They are on the road in Charlotte, North Carolina for the first time in about 3 years, 4 years
I saw
now.
they sold 5,000 tickets roughly.
Absolute chaos. Everybody was waiting for this. Vengeance Day is upon us. NXT is back on the road.
It's got the takeover feel.
It does. It absolutely does. The catalyst for bringing us here, the driving force, was NXT Deadline back in November. It is now manifested into obviously our new NXT Women's Champion, who has a match. The New Day also captured tag team gold there, which are a catalyst for one of our matches. And of course, the winner of the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, Grayson Waller, gets a definitive shot at the championship. Shout out to NXT Deadline. A few months ago, now continues to drive the boat.
Yes, I agree. Where would you like to start though? Which match, which storyline are we starting with? So we're not just
one of the weaker of the storylines, sadly, due to some absence and a rather sparked together feud over the last few months. It's none other than the returning Dominic Dijak. Brings himself
crazy
into
that
the
you think this
North
is a weaker one.
American. Between everything else on here, yeah, I kind of, yeah, I personally,
Okay.
weaker on the story side. Wesley has been sort of off, not doing too much on NXT television lately. Kind of tough building this up, but he will be defending his North American Championship in just a regular singles match.
This is gonna be a fantastic match, though. The clash of styles of Wes and Dijak, bro. Dijak, people forget just how good Dijak is. Him and Keith Lee killing it. It was literally like every single week you saw a Keith Lee Dijak move, whether it was a 1v1 or a triple threat or a fatal four-way or however many people, you saw Keith Lee and Dijak together because they made magic. I expect the same in this match. Wesley, maybe it's the Lee name. And Dijak are going to bring the house down. It's going to be fun.
Bring the
Screwy finish, though.
Yeah, 100%. I have Wes retaining on some sort of the
underboss. It's got to be the underboss, right?
Yeah, some potential D'Angelo family antics, and potentially Von Wagner figuring out who he is.
True. Forgot about him already.
So yeah, I
he just pulled back. And it was good that they had the Robert Stone and him like, bro, we get it. You're big. The Robert Stone was literally the crowd, the fans. They were like, bro, we get it. You're big. You're mean. You're aggressive. But who are you? And hopefully this, as you like to say, is the catalyst that brings him forward.
Yes, absolutely. As you can see, I'm very upset Jay White did not appear at the Rumble. But anyways, yeah, Wesley, some sort of a screwy finish, some sort of antics are going to be uh, are going to
For
resolve
sure.
to end the match. And the reason why I don't think the story is that much, like I said, Wes hasn't been around. Dijak sort of just coming back. He's like this weird.
I see him as
Punisher of
Terminator
justice. I
RoboCop.
don't. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know what he is.
yeah, he is justice, and
Yeah,
that was a great way of Wesley. Like his promo, it began a little rough, you know, and when he said North Kakalaki, they're like, what? Because he had just a little flub, you know, with his words, and they were like, what? And he brought it back when he was like, yo, this is an injustice. You are supposed to deal out justice. What is wrong with you? And they're like, yeah, he's got a point. That's his whole character. We have to now. So it was good.
weird. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan. Not
Yeah, I hear
overly
it.
a fan of it. I'm just hoping the wrestling will be
Oh,
good. However,
oh yeah.
just hoping the wrestling's still good.
I just hope they don't have Dijak win clean unless we see like everything from Wesley. Like if
Right.
the match is great and like 5-star best match on the show, okay. But I don't want Wesley to get hindered
Right.
when we really only seen him defend the title once, twice, something like that.
It's
So
like I said, the story for this has not been that great.
yeah,
Not been that great. It is definitely the weaker on the 5 match card that we have going into tomorrow night. Just in my opinion. But we'll
no, I can
continue
see that.
moving it on as the stories continue to get a little bit juicier. The NXT Women's Tag Team Championships will be defended. Not really Chance and Carter's fault. The NXT Women's Tag Team division is supremely dry, so it's not a lot that they can do. They kind of have to have throw together tag teams to defend against, which
Right.
brings us to Kiana James and Fallon Henley teaming up after feuding, got themselves a win a few weeks ago as a tag team, and are now making that the push to potentially upset Chance and Carter, which I highly doubt. Um, but Mamba, how are you feeling about this match? How it's coming together as a whole? We are invested in the Kiana
Yep.
James Fallon Henley story. We talk about it almost every week, every time they're on our screen. We're just kind of figuring out where this is gonna go.
What's happening to the bar is who is she on the phone with telling she love? Were they already saying they love you that soon, bro? Maybe they are. Who knows? Now I'm assuming like maybe it is him, but maybe it's like her dad she was on the phone with.
Right.
But that conversation we just had, it just shows how invested we are in this for some weird reason. It's great. Like you wouldn't expect a love story, you know,
Right.
to work so well, and maybe they get a new tag team out of it because it seems like it can work. You have a businesswoman and then the bartender, so they have the story there. My only gripe, why did Fallon get so pissed when Man came back and was like, I got you a tag team match for the titles? The fuck are you doing that for, bro? And it's like, the man got you a title shot. Why are you so upset at him?
Yep.
Chance and Carter win this one
I
though.
agree.
I can't. There's not gonna be multiple matches where it's screwy finishes.
You don't
I
think so?
do believe Alba Fire and Isla come out after the match, before the match, during the match, but they don't get involved, you know?
The new creepy sinister sisters are going to make an appearance during this match at some point. I respect it. I, on the other hand, think I do agree Chance and Carter are going to win, but it's going to fall on Fallon Henley. She is going to cost them somehow, some way by just not
She's
quite
gonna be the one that
trusting.
gets pinned.
She's not going to be
Yeah.
quite trusting of Kiana going into this match. They're going to have a moment and a little spit spat argument on the side, whatever. It's going to cost them the match for sure. There was a reason we were shown that snippet on NXT earlier this week. They want us to know there's some deception.
Yeah.
There's
They've only
something
been a
there.
tag team for 1 week. There's no way they're about, yeah,
That
for
is
sure.
just that's just the way I feel. But hopefully this starts sparking up the NXT women's division, as you said. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, after trying to murder one another, are now BFFs. So we'll
I
definitely see how
mean,
that goes.
that's usually how you get your best friend, right? You spray black gunk in the ref's
Yeah,
face
I
of
mean,
a
yeah.
match that y'all are in. You put some
WWE has run
voodoo
that
on people.
quite a
Yeah.
few times. They've
Yep.
run the rivals into tag team Hell No.
It
Literally just
works.
prime
Yeah.
example.
It works as a concept for the fans to get behind. Oh, they hated each other, but they're both actually really good and they work well together. Okay,
And that
I
is
say
in
that.
here twice. Fallon and James, and
Yep.
then this. So this definitely
They
gonna be
gotta
interesting to see.
rebuild the division. You have
Yeah.
Ivy, Paxley,
And Pax, we have I
Toxic
always
Attraction, but
I
like
always
not
forget her name.
really.
Lopez and
Yeah,
Faraz. I forget her
I
name,
can't
but
remember. Yeah,
they're working something there with the women.
yeah,
So it looks like they're trying to build up their women's tag division once again because they're gonna need it if they want anyone to care about what's gonna happen in Stand and Deliver.
yep.
In Hollywood, they're gonna be over there in Hollywood. They're gonna be selling out most likely, and they're gonna need people to care. Last Stand and Deliver, the tag titles were not done any justice. They were flip flopped.
Don't even
Uh,
remember that match. I don't even remember the last
it
stand and deliver.
was
It was
Toxic
Braun and Dolph, right?
Attraction and Raquel.
And
Remember
Io,
Toxic?
and then
Toxic? No, no,
Dakota,
no, 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 no.
Dakota.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Dakota and Raquel won
yeah.
about a
Oh
week before,
yeah. Okay.
and then
Yo,
they won on the stand. No, yeah, they won. Yeah, Dakota and Raquel won at the Stand and Deliver pre-show, I think is what it was, and then dropped the titles next Tuesday, the following Tuesday, like literally 2 days
ridiculous.
later, or vice versa. It was bad. They need us to
Was
care.
that when it was supposed to be Alba and Raquel, or was it Io and Raquel?
It was
Who did
supposed to be.
Dakota replace?
It was supposed to be. Uh,
Why do I feel like it was Alba?
No, it was Alba and Io won the women's Dusty and then
Ah,
decided to
yeah,
cash
okay.
in with
See,
Cora Jade to do the thing.
yo,
And
yo,
Dakota and Raquel were matched together because someone did get injured. I can't remember who the hell it was. Someone was injured though.
Wendy Chu.
Was it Wendy Chu
I
that was
think
injured? I
I
can't
think
remember
it
who was
was,
injured.
yes. See, I'm looking. We can continue,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it was definitely something like that. Yeah, they need to give us something, make us remember and care for those NXT women's tag titles. And they're moving in
agreed,
that direction. They
agreed.
are moving in that direction. But of course, let's continue onward to feuds that are really heating up. I don't want to say the past or, sort of the present, the now versus the future, so to speak. Apollo Crews versus Carmelo Hayes. And not just any kind of match, a match of true endurance and tenacity and intensity and all important strategic play. 2 out of 3 falls match in what should be an absolute banger between two of the most athletic men in NXT. Mamba, how are we feeling about this feud as it's developed from the diner to the barber shop and now Vengeance Day?
When is the last time we saw a 2 out of 3 falls match? I feel like it's been a minute, and I know I can Google it, but who cares, right? Are all the matches gonna be solo singles matches, or will we get a hardcore match? Will we get a
I think
falls
it's gonna
count
be 2
anywheres, or
singles.
just 3
I think
singles?
I think
You know it's going to the
3
third fall.
singles,
Yeah,
yeah. I think it'll just be 3. They're gonna get them like 20, 25 minutes, probably, maybe
yeah.
30. I mean, it depends. They should be given a time. It's only 5 matches. We're definitely gonna have to see how long this pay-per-view is gonna be, but
What
they should have
happens?
time.
What happens to Apollo if he loses this? That's
Nothing.
like every feud that he's had since coming back. It feels like he's lost.
He won the Waller feud. Obviously, lost to Braun. He can lose to
Yeah,
Mello. That's
but
okay. And then obviously he's gonna have a boatload of talent though. He can do a little friendly rivalry with Axiom. He can focus on boosting up Tony D'Angelo. Dijak's gonna be
that wouldn't be
lurking
bad.
around the corner. Von Wagner's gonna need something to do. I
Poor
mean, there's a lot.
Apollo.
We have Bates is also hanging around. As we've seen some of the UK talents are coming back. We'll talk about Gallus. Obviously, just mentioned Bates. Ilya Dragunov coming over. Any other guys? Oro Mensa has been getting some vignettes here and there appearing on our screen. Nathan Frazier has been. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys and a lot of options for him to mix it up with. If he loses, though, what's the plan for stand and deliver is going to be a big question mark because you're obviously going to
Right.
want him to have a big win in Hollywood in order to keep him legitimate. Or if you decide to just do the sort of three strikes are out, hype up Braun, give Melo the rub, and then maybe at stand and deliver, you give somebody like Joe Gacy a massive win,
What if
and
Waller
then he
got his
sort
win
of
back?
goes. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe that'll be the route that Apollo goes, and then potentially goes back to the main roster because it's just
Yeah,
tough. He can
it
afford to
is.
take a couple losses here and there, but ultimately NXT you want to develop and push up those young talents, which brings
Yep.
me to I think Hayes is in fact gonna win 2-1. And it's going to be great unless he does a clean sweep 2-0 and they decide to run this back for stand and deliver, which I don't think they should do it. And I'll just
Nah.
save all that for later.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I feel the 2 out of 3 falls should probably be the end of this little
Mm-hmm.
interaction for now, at least. I'm gonna go Apollo though. You'd saying Apollo being back in NXT, it's great, right? And maybe if Apollo was kind of in the Dolph spot, where like he was given that run with the title, you are correct. This is the developmental. Apollo probably in New Day, and then they probably shouldn't be the champion when they've been on the main roster. Like not saying they can't be champion, but you want to see what the other people can do that are there, right? I think Apollo needs this win the most, and I'm gonna go with Apollo.
Oh, nice, definitely understandable. If Apollo's is gonna hang out for the next year, you do want him to rack up some wins. Maybe Hayes does get it back later down the line. It just feels like it's gonna be another name to notch under the belt. That is, of course, Carmelo Hayes. Worlds Collide took on Ricochet last
Yep.
year. I think this will be another big win, another former Intercontinental champion, sort of just building up
Yep.
to where I think he will be doing and staying and delivering. We'll get to that later, and it absolutely involves the NXT Championship.
Right.
Absolutely. But let's continue to move on. We got the title matches, more title matches rolling in. We have our tag team fatal 4-way match. Of course, our tag team champions, New Day takes on Pretty Deadly, still in the title picture, of course. Kudos to them, honestly, for the last almost year. They have been in the title picture since day one. Literally won them
Yep.
in their first match and have been in the title picture scene the entirety of the time. Don't know who loves them, whether you love them or hate them. They're pretty good at it. They're pretty fucking good.
And Pretty
Michaels
Deadly.
must fucking love them. Of
Yes. I mean
course,
they're pretty great.
returning from suspension, the hard hitting Gallus, and I believe it's going to be Joe Coffey and Wolfgang. Don't know what's going on with Mark. He hasn't appeared back yet, but we'll definitely see how that goes. And of course, the unlikely duo Duke Hudson and Andre Chase representing Chase University in their biggest match, so to speak.
Hard not to pick them.
Andre Chase almost had a chance of getting into the Iron Survivor Challenge. Now he has a
Yep.
tag team title match. Before we get into, the whole spectacle of who's winning, who's not winning, how are we feeling about all these teams getting mixed up in the ring? And what are we getting? Sometimes we get the traditional 2 guys start, and then we're just going to sort of tag and alternate. Sometimes
I would
everything
love
just
a
goes
fatal
batshit
4-way, bro.
crazy. And, we just let everybody in. Like, what are we expecting with all the different? We have the veterans. We have some hard hitting. We have a bit of technical. We have some powerhouse. We obviously have the comedy that is Pretty Deadly and Chase University. The New Day. Like, there's going to be a lot going on. How are we feeling about the mix of talent?
It's honestly insane, right? Like Wolfgang in the UK tournament,
Yep.
I was very impressed with him. And then I'm not even gonna try. I did not watch any NXT UK. It came on at a random time on like a
3
Thursday,
o'clock
I
on a
think.
Thursday. I
Yeah,
watched
it
you.
was very random. So like now I understand how people across the pond, they are very upset when wrestling comes on at 8 p.m. I understand it now. So, it New Day, Gallus, that's fun right there. New Day, Pretty Deadly, fun. And then Wild Card, Chase U. The hope and the optimism I have for them winning, it's so unrealistic, bro. It's just you want something wild, something to swerve you. You know, like you don't
Oh
just
yeah.
want it to be all this person's winning and this person's winning. You want. That's why I text you immediately like, oh, it's great that they're in there so they can eat the pin. If the titles change hands, New Day will be pinned.
Oh.
That is my belief now. It'll be New Day gets pinned, so it's more we pin the champions. And when the champions come back and we beat them again, it's like, yeah, we're definitive over you now. But let's just go our way, you know? You want me to give who I think's winning?
Go for it.
Gallus are winning, yeah.
Gallows.
And
The
I'm gonna say
boys.
Mark comes back and helps them.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I am in agreement. I have Gallus winning, although I do not have them pinning New Day. I have them pinning poor Andre Chase.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah,
uh the redemption story, so to speak, of Duke not believing in the university storyline, I think will continue to flourish. Andre Chase will sort of continue to beat himself up,
yep.
question his teacher ability, and we're gonna get some great story going into it. But I believe Gallus will walk away the winners here, and then eventually will definitively beat New Day at Stand and Deliver, or just a random Tuesday, because NXT just likes
Shit,
to
let's
put
get
on
a
Tuesday
ladder
matches.
match, bro. I know we want definitive
That
pinfalls and shit, but let's get a ladder match again. We
that
know
was
NXT can do a ladder match
That
real
was
well.
the early speculation that we were thinking maybe a ladder
Yes,
match of some kind, but the NXT tag team title picture, much like the win, heating up. As we can see, 4 teams being displayed, really 3. Don't really need to see too much more of New Day. And then, of course, the
right.
dyad, Ildris and Analfe, Brooks and Jensen, the Creeds, in Sheer. It's
Yep,
starting to get real loaded with some
yep.
heavy hitters. It's going to be a lot of guys. It's going to be a lot of pain in that tag division going forward. I'm super excited to see Sheer, the Creeds, Gallus. Give me that triple threat. Give me that
Hey, you
triple
put
threat
pretty
of
deadly in that too,
all of
bro.
them just beating the
Yeah,
absolute dog shit out. It's going to be amazing. Amazing.
I agree.
Cannot wait to see. And of course, 2 matches left on the card. And we have our NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, goes in to try to defy the odds. It is a triple threat match, but not just any triple threat match. As she is taking on Toxic Attraction, Gigi, and JC, as they vowed to get revenge on Roxanne for destroying what they built. We all know what happened. We don't got
Yeah,
to talk about it too much. It ain't really Roxanne's fault. It's that fucking fan's fault.
it's all her
Whoever
fault.
that stupid
True,
nerd's
true,
fault out
true.
there in the world that robbed us from what should have been Mandy Rose versus Perez for the championship. Most
That would
likely.
have been a legendary reign for Mandy, man. It was already great. That would have been legendary. If she could have made it all the way to Vengeance Day.
Absolutely terrible. But Toxic Attraction looks to take down the reigning champion, Roxanne Perez. And early spoiler alerts, Roxanne's winning due to whatever circumstances is going to be
Yeah.
happening. There's no shot she's losing this.
Yeah. It's hard to see them putting the title on both JC and Gigi. But then we also had that in when Gigi was like, when I become champ, and JC looked at her like, bitch, what did you just say? You know, like there is dissent. I believe
Right.
that right there was to show like, yeah, they are kind of on the same page, but they both would probably like to be the champ by themselves if they could. And because of that, it's not a handicap match. It's a triple threat.
Right.
Roxanne's winning.
Yeah, Roxanne is winning. Hopefully, Toxic Attraction can get up on the main roster soon. I think they should just keep them
Yep,
together.
I agree.
Get that locked and loaded. What is next, however, for Roxanne? Because this almost feels, some of the other matches you can be like, oh, you can kind of go in different directions. Not too sure who's gonna win, but it's almost, we know she's kind of winning
At
this.
Stand and Deliver, she will either face Indy, Zoe Starks, or maybe Lopez.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe.
Interesting.
What am I saying? Cora Jade as well. I
Okay.
think with Indy and Zoe, it could be they've been here. They're veterans of NXT, and they just needed that one shot. And Roxanne maybe underestimates them because she's like the prodigy, like she gets in her own head, like, I'm already better than them because I'm younger. I'm already the champ. With Indy, at least, it can go that route. With Zoe, I would like to see her just like full heel, beat the shit out of her. And it's like, yes, she won the championship in 8 months, but she still has so much to learn.
Right.
And then Cora, you just revisit that feud because that could work.
That feud.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I hear it.
Female Legato, female Legato.
Those are definitely Cora Jade and Zoe Starks are definitely two names to have out there. My prediction, though, just a quick note on Zoe. I think she's gonna go feuding with Wendy Chu heading into Stand and Deliver. Although I would very much like her to potentially have a title match at some point, maybe a little bit after that. Wendy Chu sort of already did a little hint about her being in the parking lot when Nikita went down. So I believe.
See that? Did you not see that? Did you rewatch it? Because I know you said you got there late.
Yeah.
Did you see the video that they were running, like going through I was like, bro, everyone's just magically there. All the heels are magically there, walking away all nonchalant while Nikita is laying in the ground.
That is
okay.
Yep, I think Wendy Chu will eventually feud with Starks. I think Zoe's going to want to keep her mouth shut, whatever that line's going to go. But a name that you did not say, which I actually think is going to be our match for Stand and Deliver, and it's going to be a money match in Hollywood. Roxanne Perez versus Tiffany Stratton.
I knew you were going with Tiffany.
It's going to be Tiffany Stratton at Stand and Deliver. I truly believe that.
They are trying to make her a bigger deal by having her come out like, okay, I'm back. And then they had the scene with Indy where this is our locker room now. You go somewhere. Yeah. So I could see that. Maybe a little early, but I could definitely see it.
Definitely see that coming. I would have, maybe thrown an Alba Fire heel out there, but now she's all of a sudden now she's in a tag team. So yeah, I think it's gonna kind of be Braun-esque, so to speak. I think she's gonna rack up some wins against some of the bigger names in the division to solidify her as a legitimate champion. Obviously, dethroning Mandy Rose, one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions. You're gonna want to capitalize on that. I think on the Cora Jade note, I think she's going to continue to do whatever she's doing with Lyle Valkyrie for at least a little while longer.
Yeah.
At least a little while longer. But we're definitely going to have to wait and see what comes out of that. And then, of course, our main event. Braun Breaker, our NXT champion, takes on Grayson Waller inside of a steel cage.
No rope breaks this time.
No rope breaks, no nothing. Either pinfall, submission, or both feet touch the ground.
Yep. Yes,
Mom,
sir.
but how are we feeling with this? Feud has been obviously built.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's been
yes.
Deadline gave us the beginning. We saw Waller sort of begin to antagonize early on all the competitors in the challenge. Comes in, wins the challenge, got Braun on 2 separate occasions with the steel plate under the stomach for the spear, and then had Braun take out an entire fucking wall.
Yeah, that one was kind of crazy. That one
he's gotten outsmarted Braun on a few occasions now. How are we feeling about the feud as a whole here before we pick our winners?
Braun, just think about him like a fish, man. Just think about him like a fish and you're good, bro. No, the PC fight.
Yeah.
Where it was all over Twitter. A legit fight broke out. And it's like, okay. A legit fight broke out. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. What's going on at the PC? They've been able to build this. We had like Apollo and him fishing together.
Yep.
That showed they were respected. They respected each other. There is no respect between these two. I expect Grayson to probably grab a couple weapons.
Yeah.
If he doesn't already have them like on him, he's going to want to protect himself. And I I do see him probably trying for the cheeky, immediate, try to escape. Braun grabs him and just yanks him down, but the build, it's given a chance for Grayson to maybe actually win. Like, I do believe with the way they've gone, Grayson does have a chance of beating Braun.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Who is your winner?
Braun Breaker.
Braun.
Just because I said there's a chance don't mean he's going to. But
yeah.
are we did we just agree on everything? I think we did. We got Gallus winning. They didn't pin the same people.
You went
Apollo Carmelo.
Yeah, that's about it though.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Breaker. I am in agreement. I think Braun Breaker's going to win this. As soon as he pinned Ilya a few months ago, I literally messaged us. He's beaten everybody since he became champion. He's Dolph. He beat Gunther. He beat Von Wagner. He beat Hudson.
Gunther. Oh my gosh. What a win for Braun, bro.
Yeah, he beat Gunther. He beat Duke Hudson. He beat Joe Gacy. He beat Santos. We forget that was one of his first feuds. He beat Santos early on. Bates, JD McDonough, pins Ilya. He's just been beating.
He's been wrecking everyone.
Apollo, he's beat everyone. And I don't think it's going to stop here at Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is just another victim of Braun Breaker. He's good.
Yes.
He is good. He is talented. He obviously needs some work on the mic, but he is phenomenal in the ring. Super explosive. We're seeing his character.
He needs to tap into his Steiner mode on the mic. That's what
we're seeing.
He needs
his
to just
inner
start
character.
barking, bro.
We went from the diner fishing trips with Apollo to now just full on. I'm gonna rip your fucking face off. Like we're seeing levels to his character now, which I'm super happy with. And then on the Waller side of things, he's
asshole,
probably
douche,
just
everything you hate.
He's in the right place at the wrong time, so to speak. If Breaker wasn't as hot as he is and projected to be as big of a deal as many of us think he is, this is an easy, probably Grayson Waller slam dunk win. He is an amazing heel. He has won a ton of fans over since War Games.
I agree.
Good in the ring. Solid in the ring, solid on the mic. He's a good healer. He does a lot of really good things, and I'm excited to see what he does in Stand and Deliver. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I wouldn't be mad if he went up against the big, strong boy, Tyler Bates, going into Stand and Deliver.
Okay.
I think that'll give us some really nice matches, Stand and Deliver. And then maybe a nice sort of dub for Grayson Waller on the sort of consolation side of things, because I still believe Tyler Bates is going to be on the main roster easily 2024.
He's going to be easily by next year.
I don't think he's going to go do NXT Europe, or I don't think he's going to do NXT Europe or anything like that. I think he's going to go main roster to start elevating some of those guys probably. And I think Grayson Waller getting a dub there would be nice.
Yeah, I'd say everyone. And then, of course, I was going to say everyone who came over from the UK that is here now and being mentioned like Oro Mensah and stuff, they will stay. And then anybody who hasn't really been featured, they'll go to Europe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm following.
My fault.
I'm following you. My internet is acting a little choppy. So
yeah, you were frozen on me. Yeah.
A little choppy in my. But I think going back to a little bit of my earlier prediction, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Stand and Deliver, main event in Hollywood. That's going to be the money match.
Yeah.
The two, literally the two champions, so to speak, of NXT for the last year.
And the Breaker.
Yeah.
Him and the Breaker. Yeah.
Give us the big money match to end sort of the year, so to speak. Once WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver. Once Mania season's over, it's sort of that fresh start to the year. End off, so to speak, that year with an absolute banger. The two pillars, the two champions. The man has been NXT champion almost the entirety of the last year. and the man who's basically NXT North American champion for the better part of the last year,
Yep.
and Carmelo Hayes. Would be absolute banger, and that's the match that needs to happen at Stand and Deliver
Plus,
1-on-1.
maybe we'll see Trick versus Braun before we get to Stand and Deliver. So I'm all for that match as well.
Probably. Fucking Trick Williams. That's going to do it for us here on the show. Make sure to tune in on Wednesday. We're going to talk. Obviously, we have all the full all-star teams, including reserves. Who got snubbed? Who
Who's
made
getting
it?
traded? Oh,
Who's getting traded? Of course, the Kyrie saga is back upon us.
yes, sir.
Boy, we can't wait to jump into that. And of course, we're going to be giving our Super Bowl predictions and anything else NFL related. That's going to be on Wednesday. And of course,
If you haven't heard, Chiefs only scoring 14 points in the Super Bowl.
Wild. Wild.
Love you, C's. Like,
Wild.
comment, share, subscribe, and turn the noties on. Peace out, people.
Have a good one.